Hello, I'm DRoger, General Counsel for the Las Vegas Police Protective Association. In this segment, I want to talk to you about the state law of the Nevada Supreme Court's jurisdiction and their interpretations of law. Previously, we discussed the separation of powers, the three branches of government. We've also discussed the jurisdiction of the U.S. Supreme Court and the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. In this segment, I'd like to talk to you about the Nevada Supreme Court. Much like the other appellate courts, the Nevada Supreme Court decides issues of law. And so they look at a case that is presented to them. They might be asked to interpret a Nevada statute. They might be asked to interpret whether a statute is constitutional. And their authority is to interpret their own constitution. So Nevada has its own constitution, and the Nevada Supreme Court has the final say on the Nevada Constitution and Nevada statutes. They determine the constitutionality of Nevada laws. That said, there may be times when a Nevada Constitution is interpreted more strictly than the U.S. Supreme Court or the federal U.S. Constitution. Many of our provisions are exactly the same as the United States Constitution, but the Nevada Supreme Court has ultimate authority on applying the Nevada Constitution so long as it is in line with the federal Constitution. And state courts, including Nevada, have the right to provide more protections to their citizens than the federal court. They can't provide less, but they can provide more protections. So what does that mean? Let's take, for example, vehicle searches. Nevada law has fluctuated and changed over the years concerning automobile searches. At one point in time, Nevada law and the Nevada courts applied the federal interpretation of the Fourth Amendment with respect to vehicle searches. And at that point in time, you could search a vehicle without a warrant if you had probable cause to believe that there was instrumentalities of a crime inside the vehicle. You were not required to go and get a search warrant. That all changed in either the 90s or the early 2000s. And the Nevada Supreme Court at that point in time decided that they were going to provide more protections to their citizens. They deviated from the federal case law dealing with automobile searches. And at that point in time, the Nevada Supreme Court held that under most circumstances, you needed a search warrant to search a vehicle. And obviously that conflicted with the U.S. Supreme Court decisions that said that all you needed was probable cause and you could conduct a warrantless search of the vehicle. And in that case, obviously, the Nevada Supreme Court interpreted the Nevada state constitution, the Nevada search and seizure, to provide more protections to citizens. As you might imagine, if you were around back then when they had that case law in place, or as you sit here today, you can see all the difficulties involved with having to go get a search warrant to do a vehicle search on the side of the road. And as the court realized some years later, they created a mess by requiring officers to get search warrants to search a vehicle. Therefore, they reverted back to the federal decisions on vehicle searches. And today, if you have probable cause to believe that there's evidence of a crime in a vehicle, you may search without a warrant. So that is the Nevada Supreme Court's jurisdiction and Nevada law, and I hope that as you watch these three videos, all of these things, these principles come together and provide you with a better understanding of Nevada law and how to apply Nevada statutes and Nevada decisions.
111, 110.